Hey guys, welcome to No Madam.
And I'm Bruce. Don't forget to clap money for the new set. For the new set, clap for the new set. All right, here we go.
Does it make the show any different?
No.
No. So anyway, remember a couple weeks ago when a group of very special little guys got go crazy mad about Microsoft giving people free copies of Quantum Break on PC for pre-ordering the game?
It was a magical time. We were all doing the Harlem Shake and wondering who the next member of One Direction would be.
Me.
Yes, the flower of youth wilts all too quickly.
And Joel's gonna get all sorts of 12-year-old poo-tang.
Ew.
Well, it turns out those angry fellas may have had a reason to be angry.
Oh.
Actually, they don't.
What?
But anyway, Microsoft is doing a really cool thing here and giving you guys free stuff, but let's get mad for some reason.
The most coherent complaint to tumble out of the angry internet tornado centered around the Windows Store, namely that the game would be distributed through the store instead of preferred platforms like Steam.
Given that most PC gamers rotate between Steam, Origin, Uplay, and GOG Galaxy, that's a newcomer, we didn't think stacking another source for games on top of the pile would be that much of a headache, right, Lawrence?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's free, Jesus Christ. If you, the way I saw it, and fuck it, maybe it's not free because you have to pre-order the game anyway, but to me it was like, if you were going to play it on Xbox, now you get to play a better version, you just got to jump through one more hoop, and PC gamers have been doing that for years.
Right.
But apparently now there's actually a little more legitimate reason to be upset about the Windows Store.
Okay.
Reports are flying around detailing just how restrictive games distributed by the Windows Store can be, at least when it comes to the recent PC release Rise of the Tomb Raider. Okay, so this is going to get a little weird because it's been circulating on the internet for a while.
Yeah,
go for
As
it.
near as we can trace it back, Reddit user Matthew R87 first posted this 28 days ago on the R Gaming subreddit, which was then recompiled by Reddit user Evis, I guess, on the PC Master Race subreddit, and most recently has popped up on websites like howtogeek.com. And now we're here. So this is, I guess, step 4. Boy, it's just one big game of internet telephone, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. Regardless, Rise of the Tomb Raider has some big technical limitations when distributed through the Windows Store as opposed to other services like Steam. So let's run down the list of disappointments, shall we?
That's why you're here. Get mad. First, you need to run Windows 10 to download the game. If you're not, it will try to push you into updating, which is free. We all did it here. It's not
true.
bad. You get Cortana and then you turn her off.
Next, the game doesn't support any overlays. That means utilities like Steam, ShadowPlay, and Afterburner are just right out of there. Bear in mind, this also means overlay features like Steam's in-home streaming and the Steam controller also do not work with the game.
So the game also doesn't support a true full screen mode. Apparently, it's just a borderless window in disguise.
Okay.
And it locks VSync to on.
All right.
Both of those combined make the game run significantly worse on some video cards.
Yeah, even if you have a pile of video cards, you can only use one. Follow-up reports say that neither SLI nor CROSSFIRE work with Rise of the Tomb Raider, so maybe they won't work with this game either.
I guess if you're in the top 1%, it must be nice, right, Bruce?
Yes.
You have
Adam,
SLI.
I'm the only person in the world that has SLI still.
Half the people I hear are either, my laptop can't run this game, or I have 2 video cards and this game doesn't work. Just being
I'd rather have 2 video cards and the game not work.
Sure. Finally, and probably most strangely, you're not able to access the installation folder as you would with any other game. It's tucked away in some dark hidden corner of Windows 10. That means no mods, no INI tweaks, which rules out any easy fixes to most of the above issues.
Lawrence, what's the core of the problem here?
That's a good question. So these games, or rather any game distributed on the Windows 10 store, it's not bundled up and packaged like a traditional program, which is to say it doesn't come with an executable that just runs like a normal process. Instead, they're part of Microsoft's Universal Application Platform.
What's that, Lawrence?
I'm glad you asked, Joel. Less blurry, Joel. It's a grand scheme by Microsoft to unify application development across multiple platforms. This is stuff you saw a couple of years ago when they started releasing tablets and like the Pro and RT line and all this stuff.
Right.
Essentially, they wanted to have one application experience across multiple platforms.
Yep.
And we're starting to see the fruits of that, if you want to call it fruit. Maybe it's more like fart. I don't know.
So the idea is that application developers would only have to make an application for one environment, and then that layer would automatically adapt to whatever platform it happens to be running on. Sounds really nice.
Sure, it's a neat idea and clearly something that it sounds like we would probably want sometime in the future.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Windows apps on Xbox.
Cool.
Sure. Xbox games running on Windows.
Let's do it.
Let's make things happen.
Oh, yeah.
And while that's finally happening with Quantum Break, it turns out there are strings attached.
Yep. Rather, it's about what isn't attached. Stuff like vsync, overlays, mods, or executable access.
Yeah, basically sounds like Microsoft is creating the console gaming environment on PC.
Which is weird.
It's odd.
Yeah, and
Unification.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. In that regard, it's understandable why PC gamers would be so galled by this. You don't spend years talking about how superior you are to console gamers to turn around and play games exactly like the unwashed masses, do you?
Gross. Touch. No touch. Bad. So what does Microsoft plan to do about this, Law Dog?
There's not actually too much of an official response yet, which kind of makes sense. I guess they're companies that have big plans and are working on them tend to respond a little slow to stuff that, let's be honest, is a little down here in the mud.
Yeah.
Xbox, this is a big title, so take a deep breath, guys. Xbox and Windows Platform Partner Director of Program Management, Mike Ibarra, addressed part of the problem on Twitter, which is actually pretty cool. He said that S-Line CROSSFIRE will work under the Universal Application Platform. It's just up to the developers to enable it. So apparently in terms of Rise of the Tomb Raider, the porting house just wasn't able to get it working or hasn't yet.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be ruled out by the UAP. He also acknowledged the VSync issue, saying that it's something they will fix in the future. So right now it's locked to on for every Universal Application Platform application, but that's something that they are going to work on and fix. So that's something, I guess.
Also, there's some other hope. Reddit user Charlie Browns developed a workaround for the streaming and overlay issue.
Yeah, basically it involves creating an executable wrapper for the game and running that through Steam.
So if you can just follow these easy directions without downloading a couple of viruses and sending your credit cards to Libya, then you're getting closer to a modern PC gaming experience.
But what does this mean for the future of Microsoft's presence on the PC platform, Lawrence?
It's hard to say because Microsoft has had a couple of non-starts in the past. I mean, everybody brings up games for Windows Live, which sucked. But then again, PC gaming kind of sucked back in 2007.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but Microsoft and basically every other service starts bad.
Yeah.
That's just what they do, and Microsoft more than any other company, really. They launch something, it's kind of bad, they learn, they iterate, they just keep pouring dump trucks of cash into it until it gets pretty good.
Right.
That's what happened with the Xbox. The Xbox launch wasn't that great. The trailer was kind of bad, and all you had was Halo for about 2.5 years. And now they're a pretty legitimate player in the console space, so maybe give them shadow of doubt here.
Well, I mean, people when Steam first came out and there was a patching service for Counter-Strike, everybody hated it.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I was like, oh, this is dumb. I don't want to do this. And what, it's been 10 years, almost, like 15, and now everybody loves it.
Yeah,
Steam
now-
is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's strange. People are giving up the right to basically choose their platform. Like, I want everything on Steam. Like, that's not good. You want competition there.
Diversification.
Yeah. So I guess takeaway here is no matter how much you hate Microsoft's initial effort, we're willing to give them some time to make it right.
Yeah, and you know what? Tossing out free games, pretty damn good place to start. Nice job, Microsoft.
I think so.
Come on, that's a free game, guys.
Boo!
Fuck you, that's a free game.
Not exactly how I want!
I want to pay twice. Stop defending big companies.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Chill.
I don't really care if a billionaire cries tonight. Leo's got an award. Timely. Put that in the tags.
The way your seat's set up, it's designed to like accommodate somebody whose back is like in a U shape.
That chair hurts my back.
Really?
Why do you still use it? There are
Well, no, because that's
dozens of
why
other chair types in this office.
lumbar support for my back.
It's not at your lumbar.
You're like, ugh.
It doesn't count as lumbar support when it's at your tailbone.
It's actually non-lumbar support. It actually pushes that vertebrae out of place.
All right, let's start.
I feel my vertebrae grinding on themselves every time I sit down.
Let's start.
Ah!